These are my TEKES artifacts, 2016-2017, and I'm Erica Carrillo. Lesson plans. I try to offer opportunities where I can use data for personalized learning and differentiation when giving out assignments. I usually give a quick check or a quiz, or before every unit there's a pre-assessment. I look at that data to determine where students' strengths and weaknesses lie so that I can have an opportunity to provide them with the activities that they need to support that. Instructional strategies are demonstrated in varied content. That means they get both video, text, PowerPoint, or Nearpods, blend space. I try to give them a diverse amount of things so that all students have an opportunity to choose their mode that they prefer. Stations are based on data results, and visual projects are usually, they are always voice and choice, where they do have some choice. This lesson plan shows all the data uses and instructional strategies, but it also provides an example of standards and essential questions, and also shown extension and remediation. Differentiation, I do offer choice and voice. This includes choice in content delivery and product, voice in choosing path to study as well as goals. The example's not here, but I did one mini-mester with my earthquake, my Earth Systems B course with the earthquake unit. I allowed them to choose a topic that interested them, and it allowed them to have a voice in what they were studying, and it guided them through. It seemed successful. They all did well on it, and the data indicated that they did get all the content that they needed and were proficient. I also offer tiered assignments based on data, as in with the review menu, and then there's choice boards, just like with the review menu. I also differentiate with assessments. I have different tiered constructive responses that students would answer. My incredible journey as a water droplet is an example of a voice and choice. Assessment strategies, I try to utilize a variety. With my formative assessments, I use the Recap app to do video answers, discussion posts and replies on Canvas, and that's what this example is. Exit tickets, quizzes, this is an example of one of the quizzes. It's usually application. Constructive responses is very rarely multiple choice. Also, Q&A throughout class would be a formative assessment. Summative assessments, all of my summatives include a portion of multiple choice that are either on Canvas or Edmodo. And also, they must respond to constructive responses. And this would be an example of a constructive response. Performance-based assessments, lab reports, projects. This particular one, this example is of the Weather Prediction Investigation Report, and this is actually the rubric that students use to peer review, and then it allows the students to go back and make corrections based on the peer review, and then also the instructor score, which would be me, and any comments. If a student chooses not to make any changes based on what the peer reviewer said, then it needs to be noted here and why they didn't. Assessment strategies, performance-based, collaborative projects. An example would be lesson plan presentation. Students are created lesson plans to teach a portion of the oceanography unit. They received content sheets that said specific information that they needed to teach the class. It also required them to create a lesson plan, assessments, and they were also graded on teaching effectiveness, and that is demonstrated here. That is an example of the lesson plan presentation rubric. Individual projects, here's another, it's the same example, My Incredible Journey as a Water Droplet, but it is also an assessment. Assessment uses, here is an image of the data chart for one unit for Chapter 17, the first chapter, and they'll take the pre-assessment, and then I mark all the questions related to that to determine strengths and weaknesses. Then this is an example of a review menu where I use data to choose which column of choices they get to pick, which row of choices they get to pick from. Each unit, students take a pre-assessment. The data from this, as I said before, is to determine strengths and weaknesses for each student. When tiering assignments, I would use this data to place students in the correct tier. Review menus would also be when data on pre-test or practice tests would be utilized to determine choices. And those are my TKES artifacts.